Yes, good afternoon. Uh, Very good afternoon to you guys. So basically, our training is modern project management using AI, using Chatgpt or generative AI. My name is Dr. Nida Nasir. I'm a trainer for this particular training. So let me introduce myself. I have 30 years of experience in project management, mainly ICT project management. And I am actually passionate as a trainer. Okay, I do a lot of training for university and corporate companies. My expertise in IT project management, not only for traditional project management, but also as an agile practitioner. So most of my projects as of now is doing ERP, digital transformation, and software development. I'm a computer science graduate. I have a master's in data science and PhD in image processing. I also have an MBA in finance and MBA in management. I'm a certified project manager, PMP, according to the BMI body of knowledge. I'm also a certified Scrum Master and product owner for using the Scrum framework. I'm a certified business analyst and also a certified data practitioner. I have delivered some programs in project management, basically related to basically ERP, data science, and data management in the past. Okay, enough about me. Now, let me actually give you an introduction, okay, of what to come. Okay. So now so basically, you have to use ChatGPT not only for project management but also for other what we call industry, other work. For example, I just got to know there's one basically workshop in Sarawak. They are also using ChatGPT for their customers. So project management is not excluded from this what we call trending or this advancement. So we need in today's advancement we need to use ChatGPT in all our work. So one of the actually area that basically have used ChatGPT in their practice is project management. Okay. So who should attend this training? So basically not only project managers but anybody who are interested in delivering the project. It actually encompasses team members, AI integration specialists, and also project managers. Okay, what are the objectives for this training? We want to integrate AI in project management. We will get to know the core principles of project management. We will develop the practical skill of using AI or ChatGPT or generative AI in project management activities. We will implement, try to use ChatGPT not just for normal project management, but also agile project management. And then we will look at the ethical consideration that we have to actually consider for using AI in project management. Okay, so the agenda for today, we will Basically, I will do the introduction of the modules. I will actually give the code outline, and then we will actually have an ice breaking session before we break for 10 minutes. After we come back from the break, we will actually look at the modules. There are 7 modules. Okay. Module 1 will be using AI in modern project management. Module 2 will be project management planning with AI. Module 3, task management and collaboration with AI. Module 4 will actually look at how we can use AI to implement agile philosophy. Module 5 will be how do we, in project management, how do we communicate and write email, okay, using the help of Chatgpt and AI. Module 6 will be more on communication with the stakeholders, and Module 7 will be the ethical consideration. After Module 7, we will take another break for 10 minutes, and after we come back, we will go to the recap and assessment. I will actually give it a drawdown of the learning outcomes, and will summarize our training. Okay, let us start on the introduction. Okay, what we will learn in the module 1 and 2. So basically, we will learn about how in project management we do the scoping and the objective of the project. Okay, we will learn how to do scheduling. We will actually look at risk analysis and resource optimization. Okay, I want to draw something here so that you can focus on what is the fundamental of project management. So now we look at the concept. Last time when we talk about project management, we talk about the scope. Okay, what is the boundary? What is inside the scope? What is outside the scope? And then we talk about the cost. What is the budget of the project? And then during the project run, we actually have to denote whether the project is overrun, the budget is overrun, or we can save a lot of money inside the project. Then we talk about timeline or the schedule. Okay, so that the project will be completed within the time frame. Last but not least, we're talking about risk. So risk is uncertainty, something that you cannot see that's coming and going to actually affect the project. So it is the 4 things that we want to actually look after when we manage a project. So according to the basically advancement nowadays, we are using Chatgpt. Okay, it doesn't matter you use Chatgpt or Gemini. I just don't want us to focus on too many tools, but I want us to focus on the fundamental of using these generative AI tools to actually safeguard this triangle. Okay, so that is the thing that we will learn in module 1, the foundation or the fundamentals of project management. Then we will go to the first activity in project management, which is project planning. This is very important. A thorough project planning is very important in project management. If you don't know the activity, what is involved in project management, then they're bound to be a scope creep. They're bound to be a project overrun. They're bound to be unexpected overhead that you face in the project management. Last but not least, you also need to look at your resource optimization, the resource. Bear in mind, resource is not just human resource. We're also talking about material. We're talking about expenses. So these 4 triangles will affect the resources. The resources also can affect, okay, the what you call these four elements. So that is what we will actually learn in foundation and also project planning. Okay, next, in module 2, what we will learn? In module 3. So module 3, we are talking about, hold on, we're talking about task management. So that's why in our training, we will learn how to use AI to actually help to assist in this task management and collaboration. What are the tools involved? So nowadays, there's a lot of tools available in the market that can assist in project management. For example, Asana, Trello, Monday.com. Apart from the other tools, the normal tools like Microsoft Project and also Jira for Scrum and Agile. So that is module 3. Module 4, we will look at the other system of project management. So if we are what you call really detail about the project, we know about the project, then we can use waterfall. But if there are too many unknowns or uncertainty in a project, we will actually use agile methodology. Okay, so agile methodology, it has two versions, two obvious versions. One is what we call Kanban. So Kanban principle is very popular, mostly popular by the Japanese company. They are producing automotive. And then we have Scrum. Scrum is very popular in terms of software development. Microsoft software company like Microsoft, Oracle, they use Scrum to develop a product. So that is actually the under the agile methodologies or agile philosophies. Okay, in module 5, we learn about email writing. As a project manager, you need to write an email to the stakeholders, to your team members, to your maybe the project committee, and you also need to actually sometimes write an email to your customer. Okay, so you can use AI to help you in writing this email, either a casual email or formal email, but mostly the formal email. So you don't need to basically write yourself. You can actually give the idea or what you want to do, what you want to write to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT can actually give you the email itself. And then you just actually draft the email using ChatGPT, and then you can refine it. Okay? Okay. Besides writing email, besides communication, what are the responsibility of project managers? Project managers, they need to be aware. If anything happen, okay, in the project, any risk, any problem, any issues, they need to be aware. Any stakeholder that is not satisfied with the project, how the project is managed, they need to be aware. So there have to be not only just communication, but there need to be some preparatory work that you need to govern the project. You need to prepare agendas. Whenever you go into a meeting with the client, with the stakeholder, you need to have agendas. You cannot go empty-handed. You must know the topic. Okay, although you don't know the detail, you need to actually know the overview. You need to have an helicopter overview. Okay? So, when you working in a project team, okay, let's say you are a solution architect, okay, or a data architect or any network architect, and then you are a programmer. or you are a business analyst, you will actually safeguard the tower or the vertical. Okay? Meaning your basically authority is on the vertical, on your own vertical. You can give idea to the other vertical, but the authority will be on you. Okay? The lead solution architect, the lead programmer, the lead DA. Okay, if everybody is looking after their own vertical, who will look at overall? Who will look at the horizontal? Or will have the helicopter view? Okay, so helicopter view is to be done, this responsibility is to be done by the project manager. So the project manager, a good one, usually they come from a technical background. They can come from here, or they can come from here, or they can come from here. So they will have a very in-depth technical knowledge to manage all the people. There are two types of project manager. Okay, the first type is the managers. They only give instruction. The second type is the leaders. So usually people who have a good technical background, or if they don't have the technical background of certain basically vertical, they have the awareness, they have the knowledge to manage these people, and to not only to manage but to lead them, to give instruction. And when he gave instruction, people don't basically retaliate. So that is the power of project manager. But a project manager need to have some experience doing the work. So you cannot become a project manager just after graduation from university. That is what you call something like a norm. People, a fresh graduate can become a project coordinator, assisting the project manager, but they cannot become a project manager. Project manager needs some experience in terms of project experience. If he is an IT project manager, he needs to have an experience in IT, hands-on IT. If he is a construction project engineer, he himself must have been a construction engineer before, maybe 2, 3 years, or maybe the best is 5 years along the line. If he is a finance or fintech project manager, he need to do some fintech himself. So that's where the project manager will become respected or credible project manager. Okay, last but not least, we will look at the ethical consideration. How basically as a project manager, we need to look at data privacy. Okay, we need to look at AI governance. Okay, how we actually use AI, and we don't actually delve into other people's data without their consent. But that is important. Okay. Then last but not least, after we have gone into the hands-on, we will come back and then I will assess, I will do an assessment to make sure that all the learning outcomes are met. The learning outcomes are the result of the learning objective just now. So I need to know that you can use Chatgpt to do project management. I need to know that you have some practical hands-on during the class. I need to know that you understand how to use AI to communicate better, to prepare better for the project. And then I need you to know that you are aware about the ethical considerations in using AI for project management. Okay? So that is our journey today. Before I let you go for a break, I will actually do some ice breaking. Okay, before we get to the heavy stuff, Why don't we actually go for a icebreaking session? Okay, I want you all to stand up, jump around, or maybe walk around, it doesn't matter. I want you to say your name and maybe what is your role in your current position. Uh, what do you think about project management? Are you really interested in project management, or you think project management is just what you call a very dull subject? And what is your goal today? So every one of you, starting from you. Uh, so hi everyone. So my name is Mohammed Ismail. Mohammed Ismail. Uh, um, Currently serve a role in my team as the lead data engineer. So basically my day-to-day will be to ensure that the data engineers all do their work accordingly based on the scope that was given to us by the project manager. In terms of experience, I have dealt in project management before to some capacity, um, assisting one project manager in terms of doing the coordinating. So I think my opinion on project management is, of course, it's necessary, but it's not for everyone. You have to have that intensity in terms of always dealing with people, apart from dealing with situations where things don't go your way. So I think you must have the intensity and the, I say, the temperance to deal with people. If you cannot deal with people, if you're not patient enough to deal with issues, then you can't be a manager and you shouldn't be in project management. My goal today is basically to just see how to improve myself in terms of managing projects as well as inserting myself into project management using AI tools. So I hope I can learn a lot today. I agree with you. I think from my own experience managing ICT project, this is number one. What you call usually giving us a headache, right? So as a project manager, we tend to educate ourselves. Any problem is an opportunity. So that is the what you call actually give us more headache. But if you can deal, I agree with you. If you can deal with the people, for example, through stakeholder management, then you can actually what you call soften the blow a little bit. Actually, maybe relieve your headache a little bit more. Thank you very much. Okay. What about you? Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Helmi. I'm currently a freelancer. Um, I'm into data as well as data science and also a content creator. Can call me I'm not a nano, but micro influencer. Okay, so in terms of project management, I do see myself as a project manager because I'm more or less up and ambivert. Ambivert is a combination of both extrovert and introvert. Some studies say that introvert can make very good managers and very good project managers. I don't know. Conflicting studies. I've worked with many different types of project managers. Some I dare say that some bidang kerja type of project managers who doesn't have capabilities to I've experienced that to have any knowledge of IT but was made to many IT projects and that was
to say cause havoc is an understatement. Because, for example, I told that project manager that you cannot insert certain records without having proper uh, key in the parent table, but that project manager insisted that I was wrong. It's totally, it's not a very good environment to work with, and pretty much toxic. And I don't see myself as a project manager, but I sometimes do have the opportunity to work with great project managers, and sometimes good project managers who knows technical, who has actual experience in actual technical aspects, experience they have to project manage.
Okay, what is your expectation for today?
For today, I probably I need to enhance my project management knowledge. I don't have that much knowledge in terms of managing projects, and perhaps on a smaller scale, manage to some extent my personal projects.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, last but not least, yourself. Please introduce yourself and similarly on your expectation.
My name is Sumada. I am from Tokyo Alliance as a sales manager currently. So I used to be a project manager last time, but only one time. It was like I think 2 years ago. I was handling the project with McDonald's regarding system, and I can say that I have to improve a lot of things. So I'm here to gain more knowledge about project management so that I can improve myself.
What about your role? You think you can become a project manager or you prefer not to become a project manager? Either way, the knowledge it's good for you to know about the knowledge, but whether you are suitable, as I think some of them mentioned, it's not for everybody lah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the intensity and the toxicity of the what you call the team actually affects your performance as well as a project manager. And some, like you said just now, Mr. Helmi said just now, the Bidan Terjun, they are also just doing, not to say just handling the issues or maybe handling the position because they are drawn to it, not because they wanted it, right? So, from what I have heard from you, there are two big challenges now. People, individual preferences as well play a part. As I mentioned just now, it is basically there are two types of project managers. There are the managers and the leaders. So if you are actually happen to be under the managers, so you will have a hard time, especially the bidder terjun. But to become a good project manager, number one, you need to have a good technical background. That is a must. I see a lot of project managers, they perform very well, but they are not a very good in terms of people. They are not very good. So they come to just giving orders lah, just to manage. And number two, you need to have the passion. When you have the passion, you will actually manage the intensity and the toxicity. But sometimes this factor, the toxicity, is too much. Sometimes even a good project manager they cannot handle. I agree with you. Okay. So other than that, I think the other challenges that I need to mention here is the stakeholders one. Some projects, not to say bound to fail, but some projects, because of the stakeholder, they did not play an active role or they did not play enough. They did not involve enough in the project. Sometimes it can also make the project fail. So this is from my own experience. I see that some project, although we actually do a lot, but still it fail. Why? Because of the stakeholder, the owner of the project. So that's why in the current situation, we need to be always on the alert, always aware. In order to do that, we cannot just rely on our expertise. Even though like me, I'm an expert in project management for 30 years, I also cannot just rely on my knowledge. Sometimes my knowledge is not enough. For example, they say I have to manage a project in a new company that I don't know, in a new industry that I don't know. So how do you manage that? So that's where AI comes in. With AI, you can actually know what to plan, what activities you need to actually put in your project schedule, what resources you need to actually go to your stakeholder and say, I need these people. If without these people, I cannot manage the project into successfulness. And using AI also, we can see the uncertainties from other basically case studies, from other people experience, and when we can actually know the, some of the unknowns. In project management, during my experience, I never see a project that you don't have any risk. Risk will always be there. Similar like you play football, you cannot expect the opponent will not attack you, will not actually try to score your goal. You cannot. Similarly in baseball or in any sport, just I giving you an analogy of playing the sport. For example, if let's say you play softball or baseball, you cannot expect to play baseball only you are the one that actually swing the bat. There will be somebody hitting the ball to your face. So that's similarly in project, you cannot expect the project to go smooth sailing. There will be risks, there will be issues, there will be problems. But how do you manage it? Who will manage it? That's the project manager's job. So in today's world, you cannot just rely on your team members, you cannot just rely on yourself, your experience, or you cannot just please the stakeholder. It's not enough. You have to use AI. So that's what we are going to train today. I will actually, with that, I will actually give you a 10 minutes break. Okay, and when we come back, we will look at the practical on using AI, Chatgpt, and generative AI for project. Okay, back in 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back, everyone. So now I'm going to go to the content, to the module. So the first subject will be modern project management with Chatgpt. So when you do project management, there are certain activities that you need to perform. So just now I actually give you the boundaries of project management. But in terms of the what you call the activities, you actually have a few steps. First, you do the planning. Okay, number one. After you do the planning, you will do initiation. And yeah, this one is putting the project schedule, defining the boundaries, defining the scope, and also the resources, and also the timeline. Then you go to initiation. Initiation is when you start the project. When you really start the project, when you actually go into the execution mode. After you have started the project, then you execute. Okay. After you execute, during the execution, you have to monitor the progress. Not only the progress, but you have to monitor your resources. Monitor actually the performance. And monitor if there is any risk, new risk coming into the project. So this is very important. After the project has been completed, then we will go for closure. So how you can use AI to actually help in doing the project management activities? Um, so you need to have, like just now, one of us mentioned, we need to have a people that can manage intensity. That's really true. Okay, that's where the leadership comes in. So some people they cannot manage the intensity, or maybe some people they can manage, but they are only bidang tutur, so they are not suited for that role actually. Um, you need to always communicate with the stakeholder. You need to have communication with the stakeholder. You need to always communicate, not only when the project is doing well, but when the project is at risk, you need also to communicate, to alert the stakeholder. You need to optimize the budget, the time, and personnel. So it's not easy being a project manager. So as I mentioned just now, you need to ask for help. You need to actually ask for Mr. Chatgpt help. In today's world, there's nothing that you want to do. If you want to do it fast, you want to produce a draft, for example, project schedule, you want to plan, you ask Mr. ChatGPT. Don't be shy. You have to ask. Okay? So you ask ChatGPT how to you create a project schedule, for example. How do you get into context? How do you customize a project according to the project requirement? How do you know the project's boundary, the scope? How do you validate? Sometimes you will have a schedule. How do you validate? Use ChatGPT. For example, you have a project plan. You don't know whether the project plan is okay or not, or maybe you did not see any activity that is actually need to be included. You ask ChatGPT. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Then you incorporate ChatGPT, okay, and apply. So for this level, I'm just going to actually use ChatGPT manually. But for the intermediate and advanced level, there are ways whereby you can automate using agentic AI. They call it agentic AI. So meaning, for example, tools today like Monday.com, Asana, Trello, they can actually automate. For example, in Zoom, you can actually use AI to record the minutes. I use Zoom. I know that it has a what you call AI running in the background, an AI agent that actually capture all the minutes. They will actually, after the meeting, they will send you the minutes. But we are not talking about that anymore. That will be another next level. But we're talking about only by using ChatGPT. So when you craft the ChatGPT to help you uh, in your planning, in your initiation, in your execution, in your monitoring, and in your closing, even you need to provide specific context. This is normal. Any usage of ChatGPT, you need to actually provide specific context. Where is specific context come from? It comes from your experience. It comes from your team members. So you need to have a really good project manager with experience on that particular subject matter. And if you don't have the subject matter, there must be some team members in your actually team, project team that knows the subject. So you have to ask to validate. You can ask the ChatGPT to give you the draft, but ask your actually project team member to validate. Maybe you can ask Mr. ChatGPT to validate for you a few rounds, but the final, what you call copy should be validated by your team members. Okay? So this is a good prompt. As a project manager initiating a 6-month software development project with 200K, draft me a project schedule that have all the activities from project planning, initiation, execution, monitoring, and closure. So that is one of the sample prompt. In the file that I've given you, there are actually sample prompt that is actually used for project planning. So I want you to open those what you call prompts, and then try to devise your own prompt. Thinking about your own project. It doesn't matter what project. What is the definition of a project? It has to be a start and it has to be an end. It cannot be what you call forever. It has to be a start. Maybe we're thinking about a short-term project. We're talking about 1 year, 6 months. So that is a project. So try to revise. Okay, take 5 minutes and try to revise according to the prompt. A project schedule or an objective or an objective result. So try to develop those prompts. Okay, I give you 5 minutes and then you can share with me.
Which one?
The first one, in the first module, talking about project scoping and objective definition. Uh, okay, 5 minutes, yeah? You can do any prompt as long as it is under the project activities. It doesn't matter either it is in the initiation phase, in the planning phase, execution phase, monitoring, or closing. Anybody have completed? On the way? What about you? Amy? Good. Got it? Oh, okay. Okay. We have another 1 or 2 minutes. This is talking about something before we have the Microsoft project. So we need to know the activity first. Then only we can do Microsoft project, or we want to use Trello or Asana or Jira or Monday.com. This is before that. So project manager's job does not start when you actually have your team members. The project manager started his role 2 or 3 months before the project start. Usually, sometimes the project manager is accompanied by a business analyst. Okay, business analyst usually study the processes. Project manager is the one that do the direct, the execution or the movement of the project. So business analyst is the one that doing the preparatory work before other team members come into the picture. Okay, so it's okay. I think most of you has finished. So what I want to actually explain to you is not to say it's simple, but in order for you to use ChatGPT or generative AI, either ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, or maybe Microsoft Copilot, you need to be static. Okay, so you don't need to. Let's say you, as a solution architect, you don't know what your project manager is doing. You can actually check, okay, with him, and before you check, you can also check, ask Mr. ChatGPT. As a project manager, okay, first you need to have a role. Okay, you see, in order for you to be specific, you need to inform ChatGPT on the role. Okay, a draft what? A draft of maybe the project schedule. Or usually we start with a project charter. So as a project manager, you want what? Project charter, you want project schedule, you want project resource allocation, you want to have project objective, you want to know about OKR, the project OKR, and this project is for what? For an e-commerce app, for example. This is the type of app. This is the what you want to develop. You want to develop app, you want to develop a kiosk, you want to develop what is it? Okay? Then for how long? The project. You must take. Then they say you already know, oh, 6 months. Then I know what activity I want to give to recommend to you. And for each industry, different industry they have different timeline, they have different urgency, they have different you can add more. Okay? Whether you need to integrate with payment gateway. Okay? This is normal implementation. There are other type of project. For example, software development. There is a more complicated project type of project. And there is a what we call infrastructure project, which is very straightforward, but there is a lot of risk when it comes to infrastructure, communication problem. So you need to be specific. So in the example I have given you, so we talk about how we can ask ChatGPT to help us to actually give us the draft. Okay, we are not actually developing a final project schedule, but we are developing the draft, and from the draft we refine it to become the real project management. So this is the sample Let me, let me. This is a sample Chatgpt for you to actually create a project scope document. For example. As I mentioned just now, what you want to develop. Then we're talking about what? Software development project, what type of project? Okay, what do you want to develop? Okay, in that project, what you want to develop? You want to develop a mobile app. And then for which industry? For FME or for fitness company. Okay, if you're looking for project scope statement, you define project scope statement. If you want project schedule, you put here project schedule. If you want project chapter, you put there project chapter. Okay, these are the early, the planning kind of forms, so that you can check whether there is something missing. So when you go to the meeting with your project manager, or you become your project manager yourself, you know what is missing. And at the early stage, you also need to identify the risk. So what is the method of identifying the risk? This is what we call SWOT method. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So just giving you the concept. But if you want to develop the SWOT, don't develop it yourself. Ask Pakcik ChatGPT. Okay? These boxes, you don't need to fill your own. So when you go to meeting, you are not empty-handed. Strength, not to say that you can ignore. Strength, you can actually be relieved because you have the project has advantages. So this is advantages. For example, it reduces cost. So it will attract all the stakeholders. They will actually what we call they will actually support you. Okay. Then you have weaknesses. This is something that you need to worry about because from weaknesses you know already there is an issue. What is the issue of the project? Maybe the timeline is too long. You're talking about 2 years, 3 years project. So this is an issue because when the project is too long, there is some what you call some problem will come. For example, obsolescence. Sometimes the software will become obsolete. There is also a problem. What are opportunities? Opportunity is something that we can manipulate. For example, we know with this project it will reduce cost. With the reduced cost, company will have more money. So when the company have more money, maybe we can actually recommend improvement in terms of process, in terms of additional software, okay, that we can actually buy or we can implement. And the last but not least, the threats. This is where the risk comes in. So you need to be aware because risk is something unknown. If we're talking about weakness, we already know. It's already become an issue. But risk, we know that it's coming, but it does not happen yet. So this is unknown. This is the thing that you need to be taken care of. Okay, so don't do it yourself. Ask Pakcik ChatGPT to actually draw you this one because Pakcik ChatGPT will know and will give you all the from the case study, from the reference, from the actually international project. They know already what is the SWOT. That's why in the early stages, these are the important prompts. Okay, that you can actually develop. Okay, let's test it out. Let's say I want to generate a SWOT analysis for a project. Okay, you say I go to ChatGPT. Oh, I already opened this. Okay, as I mentioned, you need to be specific. Okay, generate a SWOT analysis for my upcoming business venture. So this is also not real. So let's say I say um, house renovation project. Doesn't matter. It can be your personal project. Okay. Let's say you are renovating your house. So that is also a project because it has a start and it has an end date. It cannot be forever. If you are forever, then you are ruined. Okay, your finance will be ruined. House renovating project. I like the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat that I should be aware of. Please provide a detailed analysis for each category. Okay? Just ask ChatGPT and then you press enter. See, you see what Pakcik ChatGPT cakap? Here's a detailed SWOT analysis tailored for house renovation project, whether it's for personal use, rental, or resale. This is where the usage of AI, not to reduce manpower, not to actually cut down resources. The use of AI is to be used in this situation. You know, if you want to do SWOT analysis yourself, it will take you maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But with the advance of ChatGPT, you can actually have it right away. You don't need to hire Accenture. You don't need to hire PwC. Okay? Not that you don't need them. Once you have this in your awareness, you can actually ask and validate your team members. Ask your team member to validate. Ask your what you call steering committee, your stakeholder to validate. Okay, this is true or not? You see, let's take an example. Tracks, monitor market trend, lock in material price early, secure all permit in advance, and get insurance for construction risk. I know one thing because right now I'm also building my own what you call when you can call a farmhouse in my kampung. So I know one thing. There's one track. When you monitor the market trend, what is actually on the rise? The price of steel. So how do you monitor the risk, or how do you mitigate the risk? We call it in project management risk mitigation. You know the price of steel is always going up. So what do you need to do? You need to ensure if let's say the contractor say he will develop your house in 6 months, you need to be sure that it's in 6 months. If we say in 8 months, it has to finish in 8 months. Make it verbal in the contract. If let's say the contractor exceed the 8 months or 6 months, then you enforce a penalty or maybe a discount clause so that you won't be in the loss. That is just one example. That's why it's very useful. This is where the use of AI is very giving us a leverage in the current project management situation. Okay, so that is module number one. Okay, let's go to module number two. Project planning with ChatGPT. Okay, just now we're talking about project, the overview of the project. Now we're talking about the project planning specifically. Okay, if you use ChatGPT, what is the advantages? Okay, you need to know what are the advantages for using ChatGPT or generative AI in project management. So it will increase the project success rate by 70%. It will make the project more efficient, more cost saving by 2.5 times the normal rate. You save 45% of the time, almost 50% of the time. That's why right now when you notice any project, the team is shrinking. And not to say the team is shrinking, but the resource loading is smaller. Let me explain to you how it actually save time. How does it save money and save time? And how does it guarantee the project success? So previously, when you do project, from my own experience, when you start initiation and then when you start with planning, okay, and then you start with initiation, then you execute, after that you monitor, and then you close, right? This we already established. So let's say in the project team there is one PM, one solution architect, one BA, business analyst. Maybe you have three programmers or implementers or system engineers, and then maybe you have two document writers. So traditionally, all these team members will have to follow from maybe halfway to the planning until the end. So you just imagine. But with the help of ChatGPT, you only load the PM or maybe you load the BA only here during the planning. Maybe PM 0.5. Okay? And then during the initiation, you load the PM, but the BA only 0.5. You don't need them all the time because what? You have ChatGPT. Anything you want to do, you ask ChatGPT. But then you validate. That's why you see there is a 0.5 loading here just to actually occupy half of the time. Once you do initiation, you do the execution, usually the PM is maybe 0.25, the VA is maybe 0.3. So you don't need them. Not to say you don't need them, you need them only at certain capacity. During the monitoring, similarly, maybe you increase a little bit, PM you need something like 0.5, VA also 0.5. But during the closing, you don't need the TA anymore, you just need the PM. Okay, maybe 0.5. So the cost of a project reduced tremendously because the salary for the PM and the BA is the most expensive one, plus the SA. Okay, maybe the SA you need during the planning, okay, and initiation. But once the environment has already been stabilized, the SA is ready needed. Maybe 0.25 only, unless there is an issue, there is a problem. You see, that's why the cost reduced, the time taken also reduced, and the project success rate is guaranteed 70%. Why 70%? Because you already aware of the risk. You monitor the risk early. This is a significant value. Maybe last time I also did not agree, but once I do my analysis based on the case study, it is proven. Okay, it is proven. So in module 2, it's all about doing a thorough project schedule. Okay, doing a thorough project scoping, and you stabilize the objective. It's not enough just to know the objective, but you also need to know the result. You identify the risk, you finalize your project schedule and timeline. You see the topic, creating project schedule and timeline with Chatgpt. Not to say with the project manager, it's with the Chatgpt. Okay? And here you do the resource allocation of the optimization also with ChatGPT. Certain industry, like I mentioned, you don't know. Okay, for example, I'm from the oil and gas industry, but recently I've done some what you call BD, business development on secret recipe and also ERL, which is a totally different industry altogether. ERL is a transportation company, and secret recipe is an FM, what you call industry. How do I know about what is their importance? I know it from ChatGPT. Okay? Not to say that I know everything, but I know what is the more important thing about their industry. We will go to the what you call the advanced ChatGPT techniques on the next what you call level, but this is not the focus for today. Okay, so transform your project planning today. Okay, don't do it later, do it now. You know that by using ChatGPT, you will assist your project manager, or if you are a project manager yourself, you will improve your capability as a project manager. Okay, and then we're talking about transformation. We actually we still maintain the human resource. Although we do the transformation using ChatGPT and AI, but we still need to maintain the human oversight. This is really important. I don't think that for the technology today we can do without human. We still need human. That is the big mistake that most companies do. They think they don't need human anymore. Okay. So next exercise. Okay, look at your Word PDF document. Just now you create a SWOT analysis. Okay, try to create a project schedule for your project. Okay, I give you 5 minutes. Okay, use ChatGPT, or Gemini or anything lah. You can use Microsoft Copilot as well. For me, it doesn't matter which tool you are using, but from my own experience, I noticed that if you are starting something, it's better to use ChatGPT, especially the GPT-5. But if let's say you are looking on the image processing and everything, Gemini is a better product. Okay. If you're talking about research, in case study, Copilot is better in that sense. Okay. But all the software that I mentioned just now, all the tools that I mentioned just now, can be used for project management. So how to create a project schedule? So you have to give a role as a project manager of a software development project on transportation, monitoring of a logistic company. As a project manager of a software development project on a transportation monitoring app of a logistic company, please draft what? A project schedule. You mentioned a 1 year or doesn't matter 1 year, 2 year. Project schedule for your project. Okay. So this is to the level, the specificness that you require to get a very good detail. Not only you can specify the project schedule, but you can also specify Gantt chart, remember. GPT-5, it can create a Gantt chart for you, and it can give you the Gantt chart in Excel. That is GPT-5. Last time I cannot create. I can only create a table. The Gantt chart in a table. It will actually specify the activity, the sequence, and what you call the mandates. But I cannot create the file. But now you can create. You can ask ChatGPT to convert it into Excel. It cannot convert it into a real Gantt chart yet. But if you want that, you have to use the tools like Monday.com, Trello. There's so many products, but you have to pay for that product. It's not free. And then there is Asana, Jira. You can use that to produce the Gantt chart. Once you have the scope and the detail. Okay, not only project schedule, you can create resource allocation optimization. You see, you can ask the ChatGPT to suggest an optimal resource allocation plan for my project, including budget, people, and working hours. How do ChatGPT know all this? Because ChatGPT get the data from the case studies, from the internet, from the research, from the journals available in the internet or in an open research journal. Okay, have you finished? Yeah. Okay, what do you get? Is it a table or an Excel?
First, I get a table and it asks me whether or not I want a Gantt chart ready
In Excel.
in Excel.
Okay. What about you, Alvin? Manage to
Ask
create
it to generate both Excel and Gantt chart
content, okay?
image, so they give me both.
Oh, okay. Very good. What about you, Clara? Huh? Oh, the point. Okay. At least it will actually give you in the terms of point, but after it gave you the point form, it will ask you whether you want to convert it into Excel. But if let's say you ask ChatGPT to create Microsoft project in Microsoft project native file, it cannot. Still cannot lah, but that one you can use other tools. Like just now that I mentioned, but it will be a paid one lah. It's not free. Okay? So let's conclude our module 2. Okay, we still have a few more modules, okay, before we take a break. Okay, but before I go to the next module, is there any questions that you would like to ask me? No, you sure? Okay. If no question, then I proceed to the module 3. Okay, module 3 is talking about task management and collaboration. When you actually implement project, you cannot work in silo. You need to work with your team members. You have to communicate. Actually, the role of project manager, one of the main role of project manager is to communicate. So if you are what you call people who like to work in the background, or people who is not really extrovert, who are more introvert, it's not really suitable job for you. Okay, if you are an ambivert, maybe you are suitable, but sometimes under pressure, okay, under intense pressure, you will be what you call out of control. That's why you need a passionate project manager, and this project manager has to be either extrovert or ambivert. He cannot be a introvert. Okay, so when the project manager manages a project, he does not only manage the project. Manage is just one of the things that you need to do. The other thing that you do is to communicate. Okay, so you need to monitor the tasks. Need to collaborate. What is the difference between communicate and collaborate? Collaborate is working together. Communicate is sometimes giving information, sometimes giving instruction. So that is two different things. Huh? So how do you use Chatgpt to do the task management and collaboration? So you can actually have a prompt. For example, break down the task to launch a new customer portal, or break down the task of producing a functional specification into a weekly milestone and daily basis for a 3-month or 2 months project timeline, including dependencies and resource requirement. So this is what you do. You ask the activity, what is the activity involved in this task, and what I need to know, what I need to be aware. For example, let's say there is an infrastructure project. Okay, last time I managed, I think 2 or 3 infrastructure projects. Let's say you want to commission a server, or you want to buy a server, and then after you buy, you install. So that's why you call it commission. First you buy, you evaluate, you search for vendors, you select the vendors, and then you buy, you procure, you buy, and then after that you install. Okay, all this you have to manage properly, because usually you have to deal with vendor, particular vendor or supplier. But this task is not standalone. It has dependency. What is the dependency? One, data center. or data room. It is small or room, but it is big data center. Is the data center ready? Is it ready? So if it's not ready, then you buy the server for what? Nampak tak? Itu dia panggil dependency. So project manager ni penting kerja dia. Sebab dia bukan kena tahu. Tak ada, dia kena tahu dependency sekali. Kalau data center tak ready, then janganlah pandai-pandai beli server. Tapi kalau nak beli server masa bila? Masa ni dah ready. Bila dia ready? Maybe dalam 2 minggu. Tapi takkan you nak tunggu dia ready baru you nak beli server. You kena beli sebelum tu. So you calculate the activity tu, work backwards. So you tahu you nak kena siapkan data room ni akan siap contoh 30 hari bulan 11 2025. So you ada sebulan kan, lebih kurang sebulan lah daripada sekarang, bukan sebulan, sebulan lebih daripada sekarang untuk beli server. So you break it down further. First you kena buat apa? You kena benchmark ataupun select the vendor. Then you buat evaluation. And then you buat selection. Then you buat procurement. Benda ni bukan boleh siap dalam satu hari.
Literally.
Yeah. Actually you have to be ready earlier than that. Not 1 month maybe tak cukup. Unless your procurement process is very good. Okay. So that is how Chatgpt can help in terms of work breakdown structure, in terms of task management, in terms of collaboration. Okay, there is satu lagi activity they call prioritization. In terms of prioritization, actually one of the activity you need to do is to prioritize which one is the most important activity in your project schedule. After you do the prioritization, okay, then you have to do what? You have to refine your project schedule. Because what? Control, right? This one very technical. They say you ada satu activity ni daripada kosong lah, then 1. Ini kita panggil milestone. Then kita pergi kedua. Okey, ada satu activity tu kita panggil activity 3. Dia kena bergerak parallel. Okey, tapi dia ada independency dekat sini. So kita panggil 4 lah, tak panggil 3 lah. 4, dia 3. So kalau 3 ni tak siap, ni tak boleh. Itu kalau straight line. Tapi katakan kalau activity tu walaupun dia tak siap, dia boleh pergi kat sini. Dia boleh buat yang ni 2 ni. So dependency tu dah tak ada. Maknanya nombor 4 ni dia boleh buat dulu. Bila 3 ni dah dekat-dekat nak ready ataupun 3 ni separuh siap pun dia dah boleh start. So lepas kita dah prioritize, kita kena determine the path. Ini kita panggil critical path management, CCM. Ini project management. Apa dia punya tujuan? CPM ni untuk kita menentukan, determine which is the longest path in the project management. Ini baru satu kali. So kita kena identify ni. Macam mana kita nak identify ni kalau kita pun tak tahu? So tanyalah Chatgpt. So that is where Chatgpt can actually impact, give a better what you call a high impact on the project. So benda-benda macam ni kalau dulu saya belajar statistik, dia kena calculate And then dia kena determine whether the critical path is achievable or not. Kalau tak achievable, kena ubah the project schedule. So ikut statistik, kita kena cari jalan yang paling dekat, and then jalan yang apa orang cakap yang alternatif. Kalau benda ni fail, jangan buat macam mana. So that is I don't want to delve into very cakap detail on the project management. What I want to do is for you to create in Chatgpt. Tanya Chatgpt, apa nak buat? Okay, we go back to the Microsoft Word just now. Cuba you try buat satu exercise. Jadi kita cakap about project schedule, then SWOT analysis, timeline. Then now kita cakap pasal task lah. So contoh prioritize my task effectively for my project. I need a system to organize, assign and manage tasks efficiently with AI assistant. Ataupun let's say for example, prompt number 2, help me automate task assignment based on skills and availability. I want to streamline the task distribution process. So benda-benda ni is actually doing the CPM prioritization, CPM, and also sequencing of the activity. Then, talking about collaborative task assignment and tracking. Assist me in setting up a collaborative task assignment and tracking system. I need a solution that ensure transparent progress, monitoring, and collaboration among team members. Ataupun nak senang lagi, assign me a tool that can actually perform collaborative task assignment and tracking system. I need a solution that ensure transparent progress, monitoring, and collaboration among team members. Okay, cuba you buat yang tu. Problem number 1, collaborative task assignment and tracking. Suruh juga Chatgpt advise what is the best tool for this. Nanti dia akan bagi tahu you software dia. This is where Chatgpt berguna lah. Bukan untuk buang orang, tapi untuk tolong percepatkan aktiviti. Cut down the time, cut down the cost. Tapi you still need the people. Jangan reduce the manpower, kan? Okay, I give you 5 minutes to do the to do the exercise. Focus on prompt number 1 here. Assist me in setting up a collaborative task assignment and tracking system. I need a solution that ensure transparent program monitoring and collaboration among team members. Tambah lagi sikit, propose or recommend me a software tool that can actually be the solution. Nanti dia akan recommend a few software.
What the you said?
Dia dah recommend you kan. So itulah yang kita nak. Maknanya bila dia recommend baru kita beli, jangan kita beli dulu. Kita tak tahu. And then you boleh tanya, yang antara all the software yang dia recommend tu, yang mana yang lebih cost effective? Mana lebih ni? So barulah kita beli. Oh, that is where Chatgpt create value. Bukannya dengan mengurangkan orang menggunakan Chatgpt, bukan. Itu silap. Sementara you buat the exercise tu, I tu nak cakap, bukan saja dia boleh recommend, dia boleh recommend the tools, dia boleh prioritize the sequence, boleh prioritize the activity. It can also help in terms of documentation. This is a very strong point. Masa kita buat documentation, selalunya dalam project management kita akan start masa kita buat monitoring lah selalunya. So, project management, kita akan ada initiation, planning, kita akan ada execution, kita planning dulu buat initiation, planning, then initiation, then execution, lepas tu kita akan ada monitoring, kita ada closing lah. So, di samping kita buat all this activity, dia akan ada document writer lah. Kalau kita assign document writer, sometimes dia akan start dekat sini, document writer, ataupun sometimes dia akan start document writer dekat monitoring. So, dekat sini, maybe you perlukan maybe 2 ataupun 3 previously document writer. Tapi you Chatgpt, you can actually just have one aja document writer. Kat sini kalau you nak kurangkan orang boleh. Tapi one document writer, because plus Chatgpt, you ada Chatgpt untuk buat documentation. Tapi dua orang tadi tu yang you tolak, you assign them to validate ataupun QA the document. Kalau kita panggil efficient, bukannya 3 orang just buat documentation dia. Kita assign seorang buat documentation with the help of Chatgpt, tapi kita assign lagi 2 orang tu untuk QA the document. Barulah benda tu efficient. Nampak? So this is another use of Chatgpt in project management. Macam mana dah siap lah? So maknanya betul lah dia recommend apa?
Saya click up, tak ada really click up.
Oh, click up. Click up dia tak recommend.
Dia buat dia tambah sekali. Apart from money.com.
Oh, okay. Okay, tadi kita ada mention pasal write email kan. Write email pun kita boleh ask Chatgpt to help us to write an email. Communication email, to prepare agenda. So those are administrative kind of thing lah. Okay. Before I go to the basically to the break I want to touch on a different kind of project management, which is the agile methodology. Okay. Before we go for a break, let me touch a little bit on the agile. Okay. Apa itu agile? Agile is a philosophy, it's not a framework. It's a philosophy, is another way of looking at project. Bila kita manage project, kita selalu guna waterfall. Waterfall ni maknanya one sequence after the other. Contoh, kita beli software, beli SAP for example, kita beli SAP license, then kita install server. Dia tak ada macam apa? Dia tak boleh install server dulu baru beli, dia kena beli dulu. So dia ada sequence dia. Lepas nak install server, baru kita install software. Ni talking about SAP punya implementation lah. Install software, SAP software kan. Lepas tu kita configure. Lepas configure kita test. Kalau selalu kalau kita orang guna standard SAP, configure je lah. Kalau tak, kita kena develop ataupun customize. Then kita test. Lepas tu baru kita live. Okay, this activity is supposed to be happen one after the other. Tapi what about benda yang macam ni, benda ni kita tahu SAP ni, contohlah SAP ke Oracle, ERP ke, kita tahu apa yang function yang ada, apa yang what you call apa, features yang ada. Tapi what about kalau kita develop software, for example, kita develop software untuk monitor transport tadi. Let's say kita monitor transport, kan? Is an app. Banyak benda kita tak tahu. Banyak SQL yang kita tak tahu, kan? So macam kita nak develop benda ni, kita kena guna agile philosophy. So agile philosophy dia, kita cakap kita treat a project as a product. So bila kita buat produk, kita ada incremental development. Maknanya kita develop features. Either kita guna Kanban yang framework ataupun Scrum. Kalau kita guna Kanban, kita pakai to-do list. So dia macam tadilah, kita ada macam kertas tu yang kita print out. So dia each task kita buat to-do list.
User story.
User story. So kalau kita pakai Scrum, kita akan ada sprint. Sprint ni dia macam lari 1 meter. So bila kita lari 1 meter, maksudnya kita boleh lari, tapi kita buat yang tu saja. Kita fokus kat situ saja. Contoh kita buat user login dulu. Sebab ini yang first yang kita buat. Kalau tak ada login, kita nak masuk di situ kan. Then lepas tu kita buat user login. After user login, maybe kita buat data entry screen dulu. Sebab apa kita buat dulu? Sebab kita nak ada foundation. Kita nak tahu apa yang kita perlu buat kemudian. Contoh macam payment gateway. Payment gateway ni sebab kita kena subscribe payment gateway. Contoh macam Razer kan, Razer Play semua. So kita boleh buat tu kemudian. And then benda ni it will take some time because kita nak kena siap dulu the database, baru kita boleh integrate. Kita nak kena tahu dulu. Last but not least, maybe kita akan buat dia report. So maybe ini sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4. Okay. So agile ni dia allows the product to develop across time. So and then kita boleh develop it iteratively ataupun incrementally. Okay, kalau Kanban iteratively, maknanya kita selalu improve. Scrum kita buat incremental. So kita tak perlu takut kalau benda tu tak siap. Apa pun lalu, kalau benda tu tak siap, kita fokus kat benda lain. Kita fokus kat picture lain. So that is agile. Kita boleh pakai Kanban, kita boleh pakai Scrum. Sekalunya Kanban ni good for manufacturing benda-benda fizikal lah. Tapi kalau software, it's better to use Scrum from my experience. So kita boleh gunakan Chatgpt not only for a traditional project management. Kita boleh gunakan Chatgpt ni untuk agile punya philosophy juga. Kalau kita develop a product. So before we go for a break, I want you to do this exercise. Prompt number 1 and prompt number 2. Okay. After you have finished, you can go for a break. And after the break, we will continue with our next module. Okay, welcome back everybody. We have now arrived to our closing module, where we actually look at whether you understand whatever I have been conveying during the presentation of the introduction and the 7 modules that we have discussed. So right now what I want to do is for you to volunteer. If you don't volunteer, I will actually pick up one of you to answer the question. Okay, we have 5 questions. There is no what you call right and wrong. You can actually answer it in your own words. Okay, question number 1. Okay, which of the following is the most effective way to use Chatgpt for project planning? Okay, A, generate complete project plans without human input. B, create initial project framework and task breakdown for refinement. Replace traditional project management software entirely. Only use it for writing project documentation. And last but not least, automate all stakeholder communication. Okay?
B.
B. Okay? Let me check. Okay, thank you very much. The answer is right. So create initial project frameworks. It means create the draft and initial document first, like I mentioned, and then refine later with your stakeholders. Correct, good. That means you've been listening to my lecture. Okay, question number 2. When using Chatgpt for risk assessment, what is the primary limitation to consider? A, okay, this is talking about risk assessment. A, cannot identify any project tasks. B, only works for technical projects. C, lacks real-time data and company-specific context. I think I mentioned about one of these in the lecture. D, too slow for urgent decision. And last E, cannot understand project scope. Which one you think is the primary reason or primary limitation that make you want to use ChatGPT? What do you think? There's no, I think this one got 2 answers, but there's no right and wrong. You can actually justify your answers. Whoever want to try?
Maybe C.
C, lacks real-time data and company-specific context. Yeah, I think that is the most correct. Yeah.
We have to provide the context.
Yeah, very good. So you've been listening. So very good. So basically, number 1, cannot identify any project risk. That is not true because at least you can identify 1 or 2 manually. But if you cannot identify all, then you use ChatGPT. But that's not the primary reason, right? You can actually identify the risk if you have somebody knowledgeable about the project. And question B, answer B cannot be right because it does not work only for technical project. It also work for other projects like marketing project, business project, personal project. Like I mentioned just now, building a house, farmhouse. Answer D, too slow for urgent decision. That is also not right because when you do urgent decision, you have to be very fast. So if let's say your stakeholder or your management is too slow for urgent decision, you can ask ChatGPT, but it will not be the main reason. Okay. Answer E, cannot understand project scope. This is also correct, but it's not the main reason why you use ChatGPT. If you cannot understand the project scope, you still can do projects can work. Okay, by having a project manager, by having a BA that is experienced in the what you call the existing project. So the correct answer or the most accurate answer is C. Let's real-time data and company-specific context. As I mentioned just now, sometimes you are given a project as a project manager, you don't know the industry, you don't know what the company, you don't know what the project. Sometimes it's a new project that the company is embarking on. So that is where you need the data, but the data you cannot get it from anywhere. Maybe your team members also don't have experience. So ChatGPT is the best tool that you can use to get that real-time data and company-specific, or maybe it's more accurate to say that industry-specific context. Okay, question number 3. Okay, how can ChatGPT best support team communication in project management? This is about creating email, preparing agendas, communicating with your stakeholders. So, how can ChatGPT help? Answer A. Replace all face-to-face meeting with AI interaction. B. Draft meeting agenda, summaries, and follow-up action. C. Make all project decisions independently. D. Only communicate with senior stakeholders. E. Handle conflict resolution without human oversight. Which one?
B and E.
Huh?
B and E.
Okay. I think you got one right. B, right? Your B is the right answer. But E cannot because you mentioned handle conflict resolution without. Sorry, you cannot see actually. So it cannot be without human oversight. Like I mentioned, you still need human. You cannot do without human. Okay? Okay, question number 4. Resource allocation. You see there is activity number 1, resource planning. AI assists with initial resource mapping, okay, or resource allocation. And then you have human validation, where you do experts review and adjust recommendation. Then you have implementation. You execute the resource strategy. What is the best practice for using ChatGPT in a resource allocation decision? Okay. Let AI make final budget decision. A. B. Use AI suggestion as starting point for human analysis. C. Ignore AI recommendations completely. D. Only use AI for small projects. And E. Replace project manager with AI system. I think this one is very easy. You want to try?
E.
B. Use AI suggestion as starting point for human analysis. Very good. So everybody is listening. Thank you very much. So AI just provide the valuable initial insight. But the human will be the one that deciding on it. So it has to be B because you have to use AI suggestion to fasten the work, but you cannot, as a starting point, but you cannot let AI decide for you or dictate the direction of the project. Okay, thank you very much. So everybody got a very good response, very good understanding. Last question. Okay, question number 5. Quality assurance. So quality assurance, as I mentioned in module, the previous module, is a process whereby you want to identify whether the project performance is good, moderate, or bad. So it's actually a process where you check whether the project met its success criteria. So that is quality assurance. So in quality assurance processes, ChatGPT is most valuable for A. Replacing human quality inspectors. B. Creating comprehensive checklists and review templates. C. Automatically approving all deliverables. D. Eliminating the need for testing phases. And E. Making final quality decision independently. So the hint is AI excel at creating the framework, the initial framework for quality control, but human oversight remains essential. So what is the answer you think? Huh? You are right. So this is also B. You create comprehensive checklist. You do the documentation. You do the what you call the deliverables, but you don't actually decide. You don't replace anything. So that is the AI way. Okay. So I believe you guys have completed the assessment, and I'm happy to say that every one of you has already passed the assessment. Thank you very much. So give yourself a pat in the back. Okay. So in the next, I think we have another 20 minutes. I will just like to recap what we have learned. I think we are nearly ending our course. It was very what you call good output that I received from you guys, good responses. So now we're going to recap what we have learned in today's lesson, in today's training. Okay, I go back to my first module. So in the module, I have the learning objective. So when actually I want to check on my learning outcome and what you call whether it is met or not. So I check again the learning objective, the learning outcome against the learning objective. So basically, number one, I managed to show you the AI integration, meaning when I can use the ChatGPT. It doesn't matter ChatGPT, either ChatGPT or Gemini, or you can also use Copilot or Claude. Okay. Now we have also DeepSeek, right? Okay. Number two, foundation knowledge. Where, what, and how. So foundation is only a foundation. As I mentioned, the usage of the ChatGPT in this training is only basically using manually the ChatGPT. You're not creating an AI agent yet. That one will be on the intermediate level. That will be on the next level. But I have shown you what to use, where to use it, and how to use it. So this is learning objective number two. We also established that. Number three, we also practice. Okay, you guys have done a good job by actually creating prompts that is suitable for project management. Okay, you have tried doing the project schedule. You have tried doing the basically the task management. You also have looked at how ChatGPT can recommend you the tools required. Okay, you can also you have done also what you call the SWOT, the SWOT analysis. by using Chatgpt. So you've already done the practical. So you've already done the point number learning objective, and as a result, you have managed to achieve practical application. Point number 4 is actually about agile. So not only you can use ChatGPT for traditional project management, you can also use ChatGPT for product management. And actually, not project management. Product management is usually it follows the agile philosophy. So you can actually use ChatGPT if, let's say, you are implementing agile philosophy, which is either Kanban framework or Scrum framework. That is your fourth accomplishment. Then we're talking about communication excellence. We have talked about this, how you can actually prepare email, you can actually manage your stakeholder by actually preparing for any communication, any intervention with your stakeholders by having ChatGPT, and ChatGPT for this. So you have accomplished it. And last but not least, I will also mention about ethical practice. So when you are using ChatGPT, you must remember that you are using other people's reference. So the ethics in this is that you have to acknowledge. That's why when I did my PhD, the first thing that I need to do is to find references. or case study. And it has to follow in university the standard. I need to actually cite them. I cannot just use the knowledge without citing them. So you must remember, when you use Chatgpt, you need to identify and acknowledge who is the originator. You cannot claim it is your work if it is not your work. In my certification, PMP, actually governed by PMI, I have an ethical code as well. Anything that I do in my capacity as a project manager, I cannot take credit for anything that is not my work. So it's governed by 2 bullet points. One is ethical practice, doing research, and one is because I have a code of honor in PMI, code of ethics, they call it. So I have to follow. Similarly, if let's say I tell you the criticality of this code of ethics. In the code of ethics of PMI, let's say the project, when I do the project scheduling, I say that the project scheduling, the project can only be finished within 1 year. If let's say the customer said, no, I don't want it in 1 year, I want it in 6 months, I cannot do it. I have the responsibility to tell my customer, I cannot do it in 6 months, I have to do it in 1 year. So that is called ethics. And if let's say they still emphasize me to do it in 6 months, I have to resign. I have to uphold. The first thing I need to do, I need to persuade the customer. Say I cannot do it because of this. I have to justify. If they still don't want to listen to me, they so be it. But I have the responsibility to resign on the project. I cannot do it. If I say I cannot do it in 6 months, I have to do it in 1 year, I have to stand by it. Not only project schedule, but any unethical conduct of basically faced by me and also by my team members. For example, bribes. They say the customer bribed me to, let's say, be easy on him on the monitoring of the project, or he threatened my to the team members. I cannot. I still have to uphold the code of ethics. So that is basically the learning outcome. And to summarize all this, I think I can actually summarize it in 3 points, 3 takeaways. Okay. Out of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can say 3 summary out of this. So number 1, nowadays you need to use AI or Chatgpt or any other tools, okay, for project management. Okay, let me rephrase it. Nowadays, it is critical for project managers to use AI, ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot or DeepSeek or Cloud for project management. Okay, this is summary number 1. Number 2, use AI to perform initial planning, framework, planning, what you call preparing, documenting, preparation, according to the respective environment. So this is number 2. Number 3, which is related to number 2, after you use AI, final judgment or decision will still require human oversight. Why? Because you still need judgment from the human, because you are the actually decider, not the AI. AI cannot be the decider of things. We can say that it does not arrive to that level yet, but I think we need to have a check and balance. For example, in audit or in your banking transaction, when you do banking transaction, you have to have a maker and a mover. You cannot. You become a maker and you also become a mover. So that's why in this case, to govern AI, it's not difficult. To govern AI, you need to have check and balance. So you still need human oversight for the governance. Okay. I think I cover most of it. So before I actually hand you the what you call the last deliverable of the day, which is the my feedback form, I open to the floor for question and answers. If there is any question and answers that you want to ask me, then you can do it now. I will actually, along the way, I will go out by giving you some case study. Okay. Microsoft is using AI for its software development. They are using Scrum methodology. So basically, from this advancement, they actually achieve 40% reduction in planning time, 25% improvement in delivery accuracy, automated risk identification, and enhanced team collaboration. That is Microsoft. What about Siemens? Siemens, 30% efficiency gain meaning cost reduction by 30%, cost savings in terms of monetary 2 million, annual reduction in project overruns. So this is Siemens. They use AI for predictive analytics to actually predict the risk, and they provide they use AI for resource optimization and also quality assurance. What about Netflix? Our favorite service provider at home. Netflix use AI to do script analysis, to do production scheduling, and to do post-production recommendation, automated suggestion. If you notice when you watch Netflix, like me, I like to see horror movie from Indonesia. Now there is a good movie. Luna Maya is the actress. I just saw it twice. The second time yesterday. The movie is called Bunde. So this Bunde is also a witch. This Bunde of the future president is also a witch. So there are four robbers try to rob the house of the Bunde, and they get the witch of wrath in return. So he's so powerful that whenever he want to cut down your head, then you just use the what you call the slender, and the head is over. So Lupaya I think is like replacing Susanna. Last time Indonesia they have Susanna. Susanna always happen to become like a Portena or something.
Actually, they remake Susanna.
By having Luna Maya in the
They kill it, look like the resemblance. Can you resemblance?
Tapi now why they like Luna Maya very much. I don't know. Last time I don't know why they like this actress.
Luna Maya is okay lah. Jangan cinta Luna.
Okay, Tesla. My favorite car, Tesla. Tesla employ AI for managing massive factory construction project, coordinating thousands of contractors. They use it for coordination, activities coordination, real-time progress tracking, using drone. Wow, predictive logistics for material delivery, automated safety compliance monitoring. This is all using AI. Dynamic scheduling based on weather and resource availability. That's how great is AI. And last but not least, JP Morgan. They do their digital transformation. JP Morgan is a consulting firm for project assessment, team formation, and success prediction. I think for project assessment, not only JP Morgan, Accenture, PwC, they are now using AI for all the what you call assessment. Early assessment, they're not using too many consultants, they use AI to actually supply them all the preliminary assessment. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. If you don't have any question, do you have any question? If you don't have any question, I will now leave you to participant feedback form. Okay. Take a look at the participant feedback form and then give me your feedback. Okay, as soon as possible. Okay, try to review it. If you have any question, I will send to you to your WhatsApp. Let me send to you now. If not, I will forget. Okay, let's see. I give to Ismail first. Okay, make sure you fill it in during the weekend and then send back to me. Okay, whenever you have done it. Okay. Okay, I think with that, give ourselves an applause. Okay, thank you very much for participating, and I wish you all the best in your future training. Okay, Assalamualaikum. Okay. Thank you very much.